I have got a pretty killer little strategy I'm teaching you today. So today, what I'm teaching you is a content plan. So how many of you feel like in your social media you are throwing shit at the walls, just trying to see what might stick, and if it did stick you didn't even notice and you didn't know whether to do that again, you don't know what to put out on your social media pages versus what to put in your group versus what to send on email, if you feel like all of your marketing cogs aren't really turning together, and if you would like a plan. That's kind of how I felt for years and years, to be honest with you. Does that sound bad, given that I'm the marketer here and I'm supposed to be teaching you stuff? If you know who you are, what you stand for, what you become the go-to leader in your field for, which is what you get when you do a Tribe Famous framework with me, then you actually know what to say on social media. It's not a kind of, what do I say today kind of thing. It's a, how can I best represent and nurture and encourage and support my tribe? Yes, lol. So when you know that, that's one big part of it. And so a lot of what I'm going to teach you today is not about the content per se, but the structure. So the content comes out of knowing what your Tribe Famous framework is, or if you've done some work with another brand or marketing strategist on exactly who you are, how it makes you different, what your unique edge is, then that's the content that you're plowing in here. And that is a beautiful marry up of the product or service that you create and you. And the magic that you were born with and what you kind of bring out in people. So there's that. So I'm tangenting, but so that's the content side of it. Today we're doing the structure side of it. So if you're feeling like it's just a burden to try and sit down and do like a weekly email to your database, or it's a kind of a daily, like, oh God, I'm seeing other people in my newsfeed putting out all this great quality content and I've got no idea what I should be saying, how that better represents who I am and what I can do and how it's uniquely different. You might not even be going into that much level of detail. You might just be sitting there staring at a blank screen going, oh, what do I say today, And sometimes it's really hit and sometimes it's really miss. So today's live is going to take the pressure off all of that, right? So today's live is absolutely going to bring you down into a structure that gives you what Google says people require to go from prospect through to buyer. Oh, I just made a rhyme. It's what people require to go from prospect to buyer. Maybe I should make a rap. I don't think I'm a very good rapper though. So today we are going to work out how the hell do we get this 7-11-4 rule of Google's. So they say 7 hours of content across 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms. Apparently that's what it takes. That's what Google says that you need in order to get someone from prospect to buyer. Now, if you're anything like me, you've got a whole bunch of platforms that you're operating on. You've got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, your Facebook groups, email, and you're like, oh my God, what do I tell them that goes, what am I telling them here? What am I telling them here? And what am I telling them here? And when does the credit card details come in, right? So how much am I giving away for free and all of that sort of stuff? So these are all the things that we need to solve at some point. Some of it will be today. I was about to say today. That would be an overpromise. I can't get through all that. So today we are going to learn your weekly content social media schedule. We're going to learn how to create your content effectively, and we're going to learn how to schedule and post it. Here it is, the 7-11-4 plan. Look at it. It's so pretty. Oh, it's a little bit overexposed. This weird filter is a bit overexposing. Forget the Brad printing because that's just a home printer doing that there. But this here is what I'm teaching you. I'm going to teach you the top top points out of here today. And at the end of the live, I'm going to give you a special discount for 7 days for no more than 2 coffees to buy it. And it's got training videos and everything. Mr. Jones, I love it. Christine, thank you. It's going to give you the step-by-step videos and the thick little plan here for a really pissy price. So stick around. It's going to be worth it. So let me get into it. So we've already touched on the fact that Google says to you that you need 7 hours of content over 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms, right? That's all. This is what this is telling you. So let me tell you about just the overarching idea that holds all of this together. So this picture here, I did do a version of it. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna get the camera angle right. I did a version of this last week on my whiteboard behind me. And that's a lie. That's not a whiteboard. That's actually a piece of MDF with paper on it. This is what happens when you're in isolation. You got to get crafty. So, this little structure here I use a lot to teach you a lot of things. You might have seen it when I've talked about the 1-to-1-to-1 rule. One person, one problem, one solution. If you don't know about that, go back to the announcement post in this group and have a look at it. It's really worth doing because you think you know your avatar, but you probably don't really. That's the root of all evil, is not knowing your avatar properly. So there's a structure. I follow this structure for that when I'm teaching you that. I also follow this structure when I'm teaching you how to write sales copy. It's just a very good structure. So I'm going to teach it again to you today now based on your social media and how to do it, right? So the cool thing about what we're learning today is this, that everything has a little framework. So, can you see that? Yeah, good. All right. So, if you have got a few different things going on, oh, here I am. Hi there. Hi. You want to have a bunch of things going on to support each other, right? So the first thing that you want to have going on is obviously you've got to have a Facebook page if you want to run Facebook ads, and you've got to have a Facebook page if you want to have a Facebook group, right? So I'm just going to start on Facebook. So if you've got a Facebook page, and you're using it to promote anything, then you're not getting any reach. I can tell you now, you're getting unless you're super active on there, the algorithm is not favoring Facebook pages right now, but it's a necessity to have to be able to host the other things that you like doing that you are getting reach for. So do we ignore Facebook pages and do we put content on Facebook pages? Great question. Thanks for asking. You need to have it like, this is the idea of your Facebook page, right? At the end of the day, where is it? Here it goes. It goes about here. Hey baby, can you move that dog? She's whining at the door, thanks. She's driving me crazy, Right, okay, so your Facebook profile, Facebook page, and really your other social media profiles, things in like your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile, all of this goes about here, right? And on that, you are going to be treating that like a magazine cover. Now, so this is answering the question of what do I put where and when do I ask for money? Okay, so this is important. So on your Facebook page, you want that to feel like the cover of a magazine. I like to make mine feel like the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Don't know if I'm nailing it. That's the one I'm aiming for. And on the cover of magazines, it's like, Gwyneth Paltrow's, conscious separation, and this new makeup thingy that's a revelation. And I'm rapping again. So anyway, those things, they don't tell you on the cover all the genius that's happening on the inside, right? So think about that. Your inside is your Facebook group or your database. And these days, in the olden days of marketing, we'd just have an email database and we'd pop people in there and they'd actually read our emails. They'd even get our emails. These days, they might not even be getting our emails. But anyway, if they are, that was where they'd go. So Facebook group, email database are the next layer in. So that's the next. You want to be giving those people what's inside the magazine cover. Am I making sense? I'm a little bit bonkers. I worked really hard in the yard on the weekend and I'm pretty tired. So I just want to make sure. I know I'm a bit scatty, but are you getting the nuggets? Are you getting the main points? Give me a yes. I'm scaring. I might be scaring some of you off today. All right. So inside the magazine cover, we've got an email database. And we've got a Facebook group, or, if you're not a Facebook dude, then you might be looking at WhatsApp groups. You might be looking at other groups, other places, all the other places that a digital marketer uses to nurture people. Oh, look, you might have a membership site or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. So that's there. Can you read that? So we're going from Facebook page into our email database or into our Facebook group. So Facebook page, magazine cover, inside the Facebook group or in your email database, you're giving them a little bit more. They know you a little bit better. If you haven't watched my scale of readiness video, go back and watch that, because what you're giving them when they're in here in that email database bit is the kind of 4 to 7 out of 10 kind of content. That's how well they know you. That's what they like. Up here, they might be kind of 1 to 4, you know? So don't know you that well, just give me the top lines and I'll open the magazine if I feel like it, kind of thing. And in here is kind of all that community, that juicy community content that you're putting in there. This is where you show off what your unique edge is, right? In the middle. So that's where you're constantly taking all the ways that they're experiencing life and problems right now and massaging that down into a bit of a reframe around how you can help them, you know, how you might have been experiencing life like this, but actually, you know, have you ever seen it from this perspective? And, you know, your unique edge, if you apply that, can help them with that. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, send me a PM, we'll talk more about it. So then we've got a couple of things happening down here. So down here, we've got email going out. Down here, we've got your social media profiles again. And you've also got paid ads. So, and you've got paid ads up here. Now, let me just bring it all together for you. At the top here, this is where I was talking about this as if that's your new leads, right? So these are new prospects. You can use, the cool thing is that you can use this structure. I'm going to go on this side. Ooh, there we go. You can use this structure to bring in new leads as well as nurture people that are already in your realm, right? So that's what I'm trying to teach you here. And that's what this whole plan is laid out around. So, and it brings all your marketing cogs together. Who would like to see that? Do you get what I'm saying? Is this cool? Are we excited about this structure here? I love the little hourglass thing. It seems to work so well. You use paid ads to bring people down into your community, right? So, thanks, Gussie. So you might notice that I'm popping up in your newsfeed saying, hey, on Monday I go live. And it's a paid ad. It's a sponsored ad saying, I'm going to talk about this thing, you know. So I love this because it gives you, strategy and structure and something different to be saying in paid ads all the time. And Facebook loves that. They love fresh content. They don't mind it if you find one ad that's working really well and you scale the bejesus out of that, as long as people are getting engaged, are engaging in it and it's interactive and it's getting, kind of good leverage and lift off. That's fine. And in our other work that we do with our clients, that is the aim, is to have one ad ticking over all the time that's doing all that heavy lifting. But it's really great, and Facebook loves it, if you put fresh content in your paid ads as well as your organic stuff, your page stuff that you're just posting there, your magazine cover stuff, right? So what I love about this structure is it's getting new leads in. And if you're building some sort of group or community, even if it's an email database, you can use those paid ads with fresh content every week based around your Tribe Planners framework to pump people into, they're going to be seeing your Facebook page naturally because that's what you're running the ads from. They're going to be coming into your email database or your group based on a new hook, a new idea that you are, talking about. So just like I'm doing here in these live streams, right? One week I'm talking about one-to-one and how do you know your avatar? That might be like, oh my God, I don't know who I'm talking to or what to say to them. So I pump you in like that. Or I'm saying, hey, come and learn this content schedule because your social media is overwhelming you. Okay, cool, come in on that. So, I'm using the different hooks and pain points to bring people down to what I know is true, is that no one will know what the hell still to say on social media unless they have a Tribe Planners framework, unless they know what they're the go-to leader for. None of this stuff, this stuff will work a lot better if you know that. You can get some traction for sure, but if you know what you're the go-to leader for, if you've got that one key concept that holds everything together, then this stuff is just like the cream on the cake. So anyone that's already done a framework with me that's watching this right now is getting, the extra 10% that's going to be turning up the dial on leads and traffic right now. It's really exciting for them. So paid ads, you use that to run new leads in. Through your Facebook page, into your email database, into your Facebook group, right? And then you nurture them in there, and you tell them lots of cool stuff in there, and what you're trying to do in that space is essentially just overcome any objections they might have to working with you, Show your credibility and expertise, show your unique difference, your edge, your magic, show them a bit of your personality, all the stuff that you would expect to read on the inside of a magazine. And then what's happening in the other direction is that simultaneously you're nurturing the people that are already in, right? So you can use paid ads. The same paid ads are actually saying to your existing database there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. I'm not going to go into all the strategy right now, but if that's of interest to you, it is in our knowledge base, which is what I talked about last week, the pre-launch of our knowledge base. There's strategies in there for remarketing. So you can actually upload your database to Facebook and create an audience out of it and start running paid ads back to the people that are in your database. Because it's hard to get people to see your emails these days. So sometimes sending them the same information on a Facebook ad and spending a couple of bucks getting it in front of them is really worth it if you've got good quality content, right? So you can use paid ads to nurture people back in the other direction. So this is your database down here, your followers, your community. So you use the same thing. So then you run them back through social media, and Amber, you do have expertise. Even if you're only 2 weeks into a network marketing business, you absolutely have expertise. Everybody on this planet has some sort of unique edge that is exclusive to them and is the reason that people buy from them. And most of the time, they are completely unconsciously competent at it. So it takes reflecting it off somebody else to work out what that actually is, darling. Don't worry, you have expertise. That's one of the biggest problems for people in network marketing, and actually just anyone I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I'm going to tangent here. Is it okay if I tangent for a second? I'll come back to that, I promise. I've realized a lot lately that people really need to have the values of the business, and that if they're looking at something like a network marketing business or an opportunity that someone, selling something that somebody else has kind of come up with, whether a service or a product, being a distributor for something, or even if you were one of the people that kind of found something on Alibaba and wanted to sell it on eBay, it's really difficult for people to know how to get behind that. And it takes a values alignment. It takes mapping out your competencies and your values to align them with that company or that product. And then you feel really certain about what you're selling. And it's the same. I'm noticing a lot of the ads that are working really well for me at the moment are people that are looking for a passion or a purpose. And it's the person that can marry the passion and purpose up with the thing that they're selling. Even if they were a coach who went out and got a whole lot of different certifications and trainings, they still feel like it's somebody else's stuff, So that a lot of the people that I work with on a high level are people that need to bring together all of their certifications into one core concept so that they feel like they own it, like it's their own thing. So Amber, what I would suggest to you is find what you can own in this business. That's where the genius happens. So circling back. If you've got a database of followers, you start putting paid ads out to them through your social media profiles, you start to nurture them back in the other direction. And the emails going out, like the weekly emails that go out associated with these lives, are also touching base with people frequently. Like I'm sending out 3 emails a week at the moment. There's no way people are going to forget who I am. I'm getting more. This strategy has worked to add about 150 people to my Facebook group in the last 3 weeks. And we're only just getting started. If I was in there more often and doing more nurturing, and then it would, one-on-one, it would absolutely be bringing more people in. So there's more to do, right? But this is just a starting point. So if you guys are wanting to beef up your community, this is the strategy of the 7-11 4 plan that I'm going to teach you. So the thing is, all of this whole thing is, and what I love about it the most, is that it's all geared around finding one piece of premium content you can put out per week, right? So what do? Every Tuesday, after I finish this live on Mondays, on Tuesdays, I think, what did they enjoy about that? What can I teach them next week? And I come up with an idea around one piece of what Amanda calls in here, premium content. And let me just show you, like once you've sorted this stuff out, like kind of on a big level, inside this plan, she's breaking everything down into, oh God, this filter, it's so overexposure-y, sorry. into kind of weekly what to do's. If I hold it on any other angle, you're not going to be able to see it. Stupid filter. So, weekly what to do's, like 2 to 3 posts of premium content on a Monday, 2 to 3 posts on a Tuesday, But the cool thing is, against it, she's mapped how much engagement time they're going to have with each post. So if you're trying to get up 7 hours of engagement across 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms, we've got the whole thing is geared around the 4 different platforms, and we've made it so that if you follow this schedule exactly, you've got the 11 different touch points, and we've mapped in what you need to do in each type of post to get the hours of engagement up. That's why this is so cool. And what is really so cool about it is that Google, the biggest, I don't know, I'm just not going to make a sweeping statement about, I know nothing about how big they, really are and how much money they're worth and all those things. But, they know what they're talking about. They've got a lot of data at their fingertips. And they're saying that that's what you need. So this, to my knowledge, this is the first time anyone has brought a structure around getting the 7 hours of engagement across 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms. So that's why I'm so excited about teaching this stuff to you guys. So, but it's all geared around one piece of premium content. The trick is, to take them on a customer journey, which is what all of this is designed to do, right? Overall, your organic social media means squat unless you are bringing them down the funnel towards reframing them on why you're the solution to their problem and not every other coach or every other house painter or everybody else on the internet. So you want to be starting to show them how they've been missing this one key thing that's your genius all of this time, right? So that's what this whole funnel is designed to do. So what goes in there is important. Yes, you can teach them something about, what not to do when painting their home. So what happens next after that, you could say that would definitely attract their attention in paid ads and on your Facebook page. I'm running an event, in my group that takes you through, the 7 things that everyone does when they paint their house. That means that, their paint will be peeling off in 3 years' time or something along those lines. That would attract people in and, that are kind of right there and ready to poise with the paintbrush, ready to paint their own house. They'd be like, shit, I better watch that. But as you, teach them, you want to be showing them and positioning to them all of the other stuff that they didn't realize that they didn't know. And that's where your genius is in solving that. What's that? And that might be for you, Kim. It might be around your customer service around it, like potentially the paints and everything, and your process of painting might be pretty similar to a bunch of other people. But how you treat them and your warranty and your guarantees and your nurturing of them over time and your check-in on their house in 4 years' time that no one else does and all that sort of stuff is the stuff that you want to be kind of starting to position when you have this piece of premium content that you teach them. Great. So once you know your piece of premium content, you can use that and break that down over the week, right? So you've got your kind of community plan and how you would break it down in the community and teach them the components in your community. You would have the, hang on, let me flip. You would have what you're putting out on all your social media pages. So, how to tease people into being more engaged with you in your group and in your email database. And that, there's timings against all of those in here. And using testimonials and case studies and stuff out there as well. Out there, by out there, I mean on your social media profiles. And then you want to be breaking up that premium content into teasers that go out on your email database, but not just like, come and watch my thing, come and do my thing, come and do my thing, kind of that sort of stuff. You want to be giving them good quality little mini breakthroughs in your email as well, in your database emails as well as a little bit in your social media externally as well. So you want a little bit, but not too much. So this will give you, we've got in here step by step, giving you what to do, like how much to give before you're asking kind of for credit card details essentially. And then also you want to be thinking about breaking that premium content down into, hang on 2 seconds. Sorry, so your weekly paid ads as well, right? So exactly what to do out on your weekly paid ads that works as retargeting as well as driving people down into that group. So, you know, kind of a brand awareness post, for example, or a community call to action sort of post. You know, so it's really structured out really beautifully so that you're not kind of asking all the time. There's a bit of giving in there as well. So people are starting to understand who you are, the type of person you are, and what you've got to offer. So that's how this is all kind of broken down. And that's what you need to be thinking about is like, what are you putting out in paid ads? How often are you saying it? How often are you asking? How often are you giving? The same on your Facebook page, the same in your email database. And then once they get into the community, coming up with this strategy around a piece of live or you know, premium content. If you'd be delivering it on a video in some way, shape or form, so that people get to know your personality and whether they'd like to work with you or not, right? So that's the sort of, you know, what's going in and how often. What else do I need to tell you about this beautiful plan? The other cool thing is like it gives you the time of day that you should be posting stuff based on who your avatar is. So it gives you a kind of sample plan on how to engage in your community over time. And it gives you, you know, a kind of little worksheet in there for you to do that yourself. And it gives you the step-by-steps on how to create your daily posts. So step-by-steps on what time of the day, you know, how to kind of go about your call to action, you know, what percentage of it should be promoting your premium content and what should be talking about something else. So it's sort of, you know, it takes you through all of that. What we're talking about here is creating a structure whereby you are nurturing new leads as well as, you're bringing in new leads at the same time as nurturing old leads through the process of paid ads, your Facebook page and your Instagram profile, your email database, and into your community. I love you all. Thanks for listening. Big love. Bye.